Hi, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining me tonight. I've got a cute elf project for you. I hope you're ready. This one is super duper cute. So come and hang out with me just for a little while and check out the new cutout that I have and let us talk. If I can get my computer to load, that would be perfect. Okay, keywords all set up. It's the word elf. Whenever you're ready, make sure that you say hey whenever you hop on. And I got my stuff going. Here I am. All right. Oh, we're almost to the end of the week. I am going out of town on Saturday for a couple of days. So you might see me go live in a new place that you will likely recognize. Going to see one of my friends for her birthday weekend. All right, we're going to start. I'm going to just paint this really quick with bright white. I'm going to add some water to that because it's kind of thick. Oh. Luckily, bright white paste is washable because I think I might have just gotten it on my shirt, possibly. And if I did, that's okay. I'll just throw it in the washing machine and it'll take care of itself. No biggie. So I ordered some new clothes off of Amazon the other day because my friend was telling me that she had a date night with her husband coming up this weekend. And I thought, well, she said that she wanted me to help her pick out clothes. And so I'm like, well, all of these clothes that I'm sending you, I like too. So I'm going to just buy some for myself too, because it seems like since I've lost so much weight, it doesn't seem like it. It is like this, that a lot of my shirts are too big on me and they look too big on me. And so I think I deserve new clothes. I want to start going through my closet and purging some things. Not the things that I love, but there are some shirts that are like, I can't even wear. I haven't been able to wear in a while since I've been losing weight, and I need to just get rid of them and tell myself, you're not going to get back to that size. And, you know, just have to do it, right? So anyway, I'm going to dry this really quick, and then I'm going to go over it one more time, just for fun. Anyway, so I got some new shirts. One super cute shirt that I'm going to wear to the birthday party on Sunday. And then another couple of Halloween shirts that I thought were really cute. The only thing that I don't like, okay, is like this shirt that I'm wearing is, it's obviously it's a Christmas shirt, but it's like a DTF print. It's not vinyl. Okay, it doesn't feel like that plasticky. I hate that, okay? Whenever I buy a shirt, especially from a cheap place, like whenever it's cheap on Amazon, usually they're those, like, I don't know if it's sublimation, if it's vinyl, but it's like a printed, it feels like plastic. And y'all, I hate that so much. I hate it. I like one that feels like this, where it's like, I don't know what the feeling is. It doesn't feel like it's plasticky, okay? It feels like it's printed on the shirt with ink, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm very aggravated, and, you know, I do like to do Amazon reviews. Whenever I find something that I love, I always give it a good review. And whenever I find something I don't love, I give it a bad review. So I gave those both 1 star, and I put in there that they're not good. Hi, Phyllis. Hey, Laura. Welcome, girls. So yeah, I am kind of annoyed by that. I'm still going to take those shirts and wear them this weekend. The 2 Halloween shirts. And I'm going to still wear them. I'm not going to not wear them, but I'm very aggravated that I spent my money. Because I usually, like, tell myself this shirt is gonna probably not be good, and then I get it, and sometimes I'm surprised and I'm like, okay, this is great. Other times I'm disappointed and annoyed by it because I just don't like that, like plasticky whatever feeling. Anyway, so I'm excited about my new shirts that I got, and that green one looks super duper cute. I'm gonna wear it to the birthday party. But we're gonna hang out at the pool. I'm gonna help one of our other chalk friends, do a live sale on Saturday night. So you'll see me on her page. And I'm excited to see my friends. I haven't seen them in a while. So, yeah, I'm doing that. And then I'm coming home on Monday morning. So I'll be home like Monday afternoon at a decent hour. I'll probably go live. Maybe I'll go live during the day on Monday and then get some stuff done around the house that I need to take care of. Today I was prepping my house because my house just has felt like a disaster area, and so I asked my nephew to help me because I had a bunch of boxes, like empty boxes from things that we bought recently, piled in the hallway here by my office and my craft room. And so I asked him to take those out to the burn pile. We also have a couple of limbs that have fallen out of the trees in our backyard, and I had a bunch of wood from my laser that was... I'm going to Dallas to go for Amy's birthday. I don't know if you'll know Amy. You know Amy, okay? From A to Z Designs. So I'm going to her birthday party, and I'm going to stay at her house. So I'll be going live from her craft room. I'm certain of it. She's not going to let me be there without doing a live from her craft room. So I will go live while I'm there, and then I'm going to help Rachel do her live sale on Saturday night. So that'll be fun. On Whatnot. I don't know if y'all are on Whatnot or not, but you need to get on Whatnot. After we do that sale and I learn how to do it on Whatnot, I have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of finished stuff that I want to do a Whatnot sale on too. So I figured it would be perfect for me to learn how to do it, and then I can do it myself for my own stuff. Okay, this is the transfer. This is Elf Buddies. Look how cute they are. They're carrying the Christmas tree. I'm going to fuzz this really quick. Right here. I'm not going to fuzz it a lot. Okay, I am going to wax this, however. Okay, and I've got paste on here on the side. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm excited to see my friends. It's too long, and chalk events are too far apart for my liking to go without seeing them. We're seriously best friends. And so it's really great. And y'all know Zach, all that. He's so great to us. I told him, hey, is it cool if I stay at your house? Because we've stayed over there before, or I have, not Chris, but me, and my friend Alex have stayed at the house before, and we did like a girls' weekend one time, and he's so good to us. He said, yeah, I'll make sure the pool's heated up for you. I'm working on a menu. What do you want to drink? What do you want to eat? Y'all, I'm going to come home. I'm a spoiled, rotten brat after I get done at their house. Because then I come home and I got to make my own food. And it's like, what the heck? How rude that I have to make food for myself. And for my husband. What is this? Alright, so we're going to begin over here with our little elf guy. Now, here's the thing. I think I put cherry on my link. You can comment the word elf, by the way. Oh my gosh, yes. I used to have to fly in, and I would a couple of different times. I flew to Dallas to go one time to her birthday party in October. And again, I stayed at the house, but it's so hard to try and fly because then it's so just, flying. And it takes so from my house, it's about 3.5 hour drive, okay? It would take me longer than that to get through the airport, even though it's like a, I don't know, 30-minute flight maybe, from Houston up there, 45 minutes max. It's not far at all. It's even closer than New Orleans is, but by the time you do all that, it's just so not worth it. Plus the money in flying is ridiculous. So yeah, All right, and I put a couple of different colors on my link, but I think I might change it up. I think I'm going to do the whole outfit in red, including the shoes. Okay? We're going to mix it up from what I thought I was going to do. So, that's the deal. And then I'm going to be real careful here and try my best to not make a mess. Because I need to do that brown, the tree trunk. Anyway, so I got my nephew to take the stuff out to the burn pile earlier, and then after I got off work, I started a fire out there. So I got the boxes all burned and my wood scraps and part of the limbs that were out there. And then probably tomorrow, I'm thinking I might go back out there and set the rest of it ablaze. Because it was a big burn pile. Our lawn guy just like throws everything into the pile. All the limbs and stuff. And so, tempted to do his hair red too. Hey Amy, how are you? Y'all, this is really... Okay, so as far as his ear and his nose, okay, I'm going to do that in Dune. I need a small little... I have a mini squeegee here that I can cut. Oh wait, look, I have one already cut in half. I'll just clean it. So I don't have to cut another one. I have another one over here, but I don't want to have to cut it. Anyways, so, yeah, I think I'll do the rest of it tomorrow because it didn't burn all of it. And I do have a little bit more wood scraps in my office that I need to burn too. So I may throw that out there too and let that go tomorrow to clean up that spot because it's like overgrown. Our poor lawn guy just like drives around it. So it's like a giant tall, I mean, it was as tall as me almost. And I'm 5'10". The pile in the grass mainly was that tall. Okay, so very gently, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just tap this Dune on here. Now, as far as his eyeball, okay, this is what I'm thinking, is that when I come back, once I pull this all up and I finish this, I'm thinking I could probably just take a black marker and dot an eye on there for him, okay? But now I know where it's supposed to be. That's my thoughts. Okay? And then, for the tree trunk, we're going to use espresso. Hey, Amy. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Stephanie. It is super nice to be able to drive, though, up to Dallas. And, y'all, being close to my parents, I am so grateful to be this close. But I miss Tennessee all the time. Every day of my life. I miss it terribly. I don't miss the tornado warnings because every time it stormed, there was a tornado warning, but the weather was amazing. It was beautiful there. A great place for people to come up and visit. Like my parents used to come all the time and see us. So I really think that someday I want to move back up there. And I know for it to be a fact that Chris does. That's where he wants to retire. So I think that's what we'll probably end up doing. I don't see why not. I would really like to get some property. And I've told y'all before, I binge watch reels on Facebook. I get like stuck in a loop where I just can't stop watching reels on Facebook. And so anyway, I'm like, my algorithm is showing me a bunch of homesteaders, which is weird because I don't have a green thumb at all. But I'm watching all these gardeners and people with like chickens and stuff. This is Meadow, by the way. And I really want to fix up our garden. And so I actually pulled out my AeroGarden today. And I put some tomatoes, some basil, some, I ordered some strawberries for that, for the Arrow Garden. But I put a bunch of little baby tomatoes in there. I love those. They're so good. And then you can just pluck them right off of there and eat them as a little snack, you know? But the problem with that is that the other people that live in my house, the children, also like tomatoes. And so I'm going to be fighting them to actually get to eat my own tomatoes, which is going to aggravate me really bad. So I'm going to have to get to it first. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. All right, now I'm getting to a place here where I need to be gentle and careful. I am trying to leave this kind of thick so that it doesn't dry so fast, but I'm going to have to peel this up and then gently lay it back down. Okay, now the silk screen is really, it's all silk screen here. So I'm going to have to scrape this before I pull it up so that it doesn't leave it like all chunky looking. That's not how it looks, but if you don't peel it up, it'll look weird. Okay, just so you know, on the parts that's all silk screen. Now whenever it's just lines and stuff, it's not that big of a deal. You can make it thicker, but whenever it's a big area of silk screen, you really don't want to leave it really thick because it looks funny. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just take my squeegee and I'm going to come and scrape all of that before I pull it, and then I'll pull it up real quick. Okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. I almost had a disaster on my hands just now. My goodness. I don't know if y'all saw me just do that, but I almost just stuck that right into that espresso. Good Lord. Okay. Pull that up. Now, as you can see, some of my paste dried right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that back down. And I'm going to line it back up. I'm going to just press it right there. I'm going to grab a little bit of paste. And I'm going to just... I probably should have started on this end because it's like not as intricate. I mean, it's more intricate and finished over here. Okay, but now I'm having a problem. So I'm going to pack it on and then really try to smooth that down. Okay, so my tree is a little bit sparse over here, but that's okay. All right. I lived about 50 miles south of Nashville. And when I tell you that, so I moved away, I was already selling my house, and a friend of mine called me out of the blue, entirely out of the blue. I hadn't heard from her in a while, and said, hey, there's a job opportunity for you. Would you be interested in moving to Tennessee? And I'm like, well, just so happens at the time I was going through a divorce. Was like getting my house ready to sell it. I hadn't put it on the market yet, but it was like prepping to sell it. I was about to move out of it so that I could list it and not be showing it while I lived there with my dogs and all that business, because that's a giant pain. If you can do that and not live in your house whenever you're showing it, highly recommend that. Okay, it's a giant pain to try and sell while you live there, especially if you have animals. Anyways, and so I'm like, well, yeah, that would be perfect timing for me to get out of here. And I hadn't made a decision on what I was going to do as far as a house yet. And so I hadn't even listed my house yet. I was still in the very early preparation stages of trying to list it and get it ready. So it worked out just perfect for me. I'm going to do the dune here really quick. And then I have a green spot that I need to come back and take care of. Anyway, so it worked out wonderfully the way that everything just fell right into place. And it's funny how life does that. I don't know if y'all have experienced the same thing, but my life has been full of times that have been very hard. Okay, very difficult times, repeatedly, but it always seems like something always happens where everything works out in a way that works, that I never would have said, hey, I'm going to move to Tennessee randomly on a Tuesday. I'm going to just up and say, hey, I'm going to go. Why would I ever want to live in Tennessee? I would have never thought that. And then it came to be, and it was the greatest thing that I've ever done for myself. Because I went there by myself. I lived alone there for about 6 months. And then Chris did come up there with me after I found my new house up there. But I was by myself. It was so good. It was great. I really am so grateful that I had that opportunity to be able to do something like that, because I have lived across the country multiple times in my life. Whenever I first got out of high school, I moved to Oregon. I lived there for about a year. At one point, I was dating a guy who had a house here. He had an apartment here, and he also had a house in Florida. And so I didn't live there full time at that house. I lived at my apartment here in Houston. But it was like a double, I had access to another home in Florida too. But that was the first time I actually changed my license, like my actual everything changed. I didn't change it whenever I moved to Oregon, or just very short time that I spent in Florida. But it was pretty awesome. And, owning a home in different states is so strange. Hey, Sylvia. I know. I've been right here. Where have you been, my friend? So nice to see you. But owning a home in multiple states, like I owned a house in Houston, and then moving to Tennessee like that was a very strange experience, because things are so much different. Like the way they do property taxes, the home values, y'all. The Nashville market is absolutely insane. Okay, hi Lisa, how are you? Hey Terry, welcome. The housing market there is craziness, okay? And they cannot hardly keep up with the amount of people that are moving there, especially from California. Like, whenever we were selling our house there, probably 3/4 of the people that looked at our home were from California trying to move, because the taxes are so incredibly low. And you get so much more house there than what you can buy in California for the same money or less. I mean, more, so it's less to buy a house in Tennessee. Anyway, but the houses there are smaller than they are here in Houston, and the way they do property taxes is different. Everything is so different. It's so strange seeing that live, happening, because I'm like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? About the property taxes? And those people are just looking at me like, we don't know what the heck you're talking about, lady. So it was weird. And plus, I didn't know my way around. I had to use Google Maps to get to the house that I was staying at for probably the first not 6 months, probably the first 3 months, in order to figure out. And the only place I ever went was my office and to the airport, because I was traveling a lot. Like, I don't think I travel a lot now. I traveled so much. I was gone all of 2019. The entire time. Pretty much. So I closed on my house at the beginning of March, I think. And yeah, it was right at the beginning of March. And I had them move all of my boxes in. I'm going to just take this black marker and I'm going to dot the I's. Okay? had them move all my boxes in. I had movers. And then I left immediately. Literally did not unpack a thing before I had to go again on another trip. It was crazy. The amount that I was traveling. Like, I earned almost 500,000 air miles of Southwest that first year that I was working at that company because I was traveling so much. And it was funny because they moved me to Tennessee. Like, they paid for my move to move up there. Okay? And then I start traveling all the time, and I'm traveling back to Texas and Louisiana after I had just moved from Texas. Y'all, this is cute. And I know that part's a little bit messed up. If you do this project, start on this end, okay? Do the little elves first, and then get the greenery on the tree, okay? We're going to put this on this 6x18 box frame. Now, this is a retired one, okay? In the link that I gave you, I put a couple of options, okay? I gave you the link to the cutout, and I also gave you a link to get the outside the box frame from my website, okay? And then I have 4 of these 6x18 retired box frames that the insert doesn't come out, okay, on these. But I figured that this would be perfect for this one because you're not going to want to take it out anyways. It is double-sided, just like the outside the box frames are. And they're really great. I do love these a lot. But I have 4 of them, so I put a link to that too. Now, if you want to do this project and you order this cutout for me, and you order this box frame from me, from my link, my square link that I put, the retired ones, okay? Order both of those. I will refund you the shipping, okay? The extra shipping. Yeah, so the taxes are super low in Tennessee, which was awesome. Super duper low. But the home values are insane, okay? Like the house that we live in now would be in Houston. Oh gosh, my eyes are burning. Would probably be $1 million home easily or more. And for no reason. It's not like, I mean, it's nice, but it's not like anything that's super nice. You know what I mean? It's just the size of it. The footprint is really big. It's all 1 story, which is, you know, they have a lot of basements and stuff in Tennessee, but mostly they're pier and beam houses. They're very small. This is adorable. What do you think? So I was thinking, you know, I have this ribbon right here. I don't know if I'm going to actually use it, but I'm going to see. Anyways, yeah, so the housing market in Tennessee is insane. It really is. I was shocked to see, and the place that we were living was not anything like, it wasn't like a super nice area. It was a cute little kind of country town outside of Nashville called Columbia. Okay, if you've ever been, you would know. But if you've never been, it's a nice little area. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But there's no way that we could have afforded to live anywhere close to Nashville, more than 40 miles from Nashville, because the cost of housing is just absolutely insane there. I was shocked by it. And that, you know, a lot of the houses are older. I did want something newer. I didn't want to have a bunch of maintenance costs or anything like that were going to be outrageously expensive for me to keep up. Something, you know, I didn't want a lot of property. And I didn't have a whole lot of choices whenever it came to it because my budget was limited at the time. Now, whenever we sold that little house, it was brand new. We made a killing on it because the housing market went up so crazy from COVID, which was really cool to see it grow exponentially the way it did. And up there in Tennessee, if you ever look at it, their housing market is just nuts. And they're growing so fast. Their infrastructure cannot keep up. Like the roads are just jam-packed. during rush hour, it's insane to get anywhere. Because it's a bunch of 2-lane highways for the most part. Now, in Nashville, it's not. But once you get kind of a little bit outside of town, the highways trim down to 2 lanes, and it is like a dead stop. Okay, so I was thinking, I actually pulled this out for a different project, but then I realized that transfer is not available, so I couldn't do that project. This ribbon, but I want to use it, so we're gonna. Oh man, I messed that up. Okay. Good night. All right. Anywho, so yeah, I think that's probably our retirement plan, is to eventually move back there. But the whole point of my story was I've been watching all of these gardening videos, and we have a garden out in the back, like way back in the back of our yard, that's overgrown. It's ridiculous looking. It is just terrible looking, actually. And I really would like to get some plants growing this spring. So that is my goal out there, is to have some plants. I would love to can. I've never canned anything before, but I would love to. I'm trying to find a place for this where it doesn't look stupid. I don't know. I might not use it. I don't know if it goes with this one, but that's my project. I think I'm going to not use it this time. Maybe I'll use it tomorrow. Anywho, I love you all so much. Thanks so much for joining me. I sure appreciate all of you, and I hope that you have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? All right. Good night.